want someone to believe a lie, all you have to do is tell it to them over and over and over.
One thing I can promise you this, I will always tell you the truth.
Donald Trump lies like breathing. He doesn't know what the truth is.
The crowd was massive. That was all the way back down to the Washington Monument. It looked like 1.5 million people. I get this network. And it showed an empty field. And it said we drew 250,000 people. Now, that's not bad, but it's a lie.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period.
Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
We built the greatest economy in the history of the world. Best unemployment numbers, best everything. And I gave you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. We took care of the VA with Veterans Choice. You saw that. What Obama passed was nothing. You know, the wall is being built, and we're doing 10 miles a week. It'll be completed very soon. So we're going to Texas. We're going to the southern border. As you know, we've completed the wall. They may want to expand it. And Mexico is paying for the wall, by the way, in case you had any questions. These fact checkers, they'll check facts with me, and I'm like 99% right. And they'll say, and therefore, he lied. We got $28 billion from China that went to our farmers because they targeted you. We tariffed China a lot of money, and they paid for it. You didn't pay. You know, the fake news likes to say, you don't pay. They paid. We won Georgia easily. We won it by hundreds of thousands of votes. Actually, I won Wisconsin. We will win this, and as far as I'm concerned, we already have won it. There has never been, ever before, an administration that's been so open and transparent. I was the most transparent, and am, transparent president in history. some of the most dishonest people in media are the so-called fact checkers. Hey, the noise causes cancer. You tell me that one, okay? I went through the whole Mueller hoax. They did this big report. I was totally exonerated.
Did you actually totally exonerate the president?
No.
Your reports expressly states that it does not exonerate the president.
It does. My father is German, right? Born in a very wonderful place in Germany. No religion, no anything. Hurt the Bible, hurt God. 12 years ago, I was named Man of the Year of Michigan. Can you believe it? Long before I thought about it. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden.
Problem is, nothing much had happened in Sweden.
Sweden is accusing Trump of fake news.
By the way, I brought back Big Ten football. It was me, and I'm very happy to do it. If you don't test, you don't have any cases. If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any. This is going to go away without a vaccine. It's going to go away, and we're not going to see it again.
Donald Trump tells more lies and falsehoods than any president in either party in history.
I have to be always very truthful, because if I'm a little bit off, they call me a liar. They'll say he gets a Pinocchio, the stupid Washington Post. Oh, boy, these people are bad. What a group of people we have. What a group of dishonest scum we have, I'm telling you. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me, but he gave money to Democrats.
And here are 6 kids Donald Trump has formally raped in the span of 6 years. Michael Parker, just 10 years old, was orally raped by Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Trump paid his parents $3 million in settlements. Kelly Foyer, just 12 years old, was forced into intercourse by Donald Trump at the Trump Tower and was given a $1 million settlement. Charles Bacon, 11 years old, was forced into oral and anal sex by Donald Trump in the Trump Tower in 1994. He was given a $3 million settlement. Rebecca Conway, just 13 years old, was forced into oral and intercourse by Trump at the Trump Vineyard Estates. She was given a $5 million settlement. Maria Oliveira, 12 years old, was forced into intercourse by Trump at Mar-a-Lago and was given $16 million in settlements. Kevin Knoll, forced into anal rape in the Trump Tower in 1998, and the settlement details are unknown. We are not mad enough.
Mike Johnson statements that have been fact-checked. Date Johnson statement / claim finding October 5. 2025 Democrats wanted hospitals to be paid more to treat undocumented immigrants than American citizens as a condition of ending the government shutdown. False May 25. 2025 inch we are not cutting SNAP. False October. 2025 Democrats were funding $4 million for LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Balkans. False October. 2025 Democrats were demanding $2 million for feminist democratic principles in Africa. Misleading October. 2025 Democrats were demanding $500 million for liberal news outlets. Misleading May 8. 2024 millions of immigrants who had been paroled could simply go to a welfare office or DMV and register to vote. False April 24. 2024 Columbia University had essentially told Jewish students, maybe you do want to stay home. False. July 16 to 17, 2024 Biden/Democratic policies had produced dramatic increases in violence, crime, and drugs. False/misleading. Dec. 5, 2024 only about 1% of federal employees were actually working in the office. Pants on fire. And OV. 5, 2023 his claim that Republicans had cut funding while adding a pay-for and that critics were therefore wrong about the deficit. False. October 25, 2023 inch prices have increased over 17% in the last 2 years. Half true rather than completely false. October 25, 2023 the national debt was increasing by roughly $20 million while he delivered his speech. Mostly true. PolitiFact's current scorecard lists 5 of Johnson's checked claims as false and 1 as pants on fire, with additional claims rated half true or mostly true. Some of the most significant examples. 1. SNAP. We are not cutting SNAP. This is one of the clearest examples. Johnson said the Republican reconciliation bill wasn't cutting SNAP and characterized the changes as addressing fraud, waste, and abuse. But the Congressional Budget Office estimated that the bill's expanded work requirements alone would result in about 3.2 million fewer people receiving SNAP benefits per month, on average over the relevant period. Other analyses projected even larger effects. PolitiFact therefore rated Johnson's statement false. 2. Crime under Biden. At the 2024 Republican National Convention, Johnson said Democratic policies had produced dramatic increases in violence and crime. FactCheck.org found that FBI and other crime data showed the opposite trend. Violent crime and murders had decreased during Biden's presidency. CNN's Fact Check likewise characterized Johnson's claim about dramatic increases as false. 3. Non-citizens registering to vote. Johnson claimed millions of immigrants who had been paroled could simply go to a welfare office or DMV and register to vote. That was rated false by PolitiFact. Being paroled into the United States does not give someone the right to vote in federal elections, and non-citizens cannot lawfully register as voters in federal elections. 4. Federal employees. Johnson said in December 2024 that only about 1% of federal employees were actually working in the office. PolitiFact gave that claim its harshest rating. Pants on fire. 5. The shutdown in hospitals. In October 2025, Johnson claimed Democrats were demanding that hospitals be paid more for treating undocumented immigrants than American citizens in exchange for ending the shutdown. PolitiFact rated that false. And there are additional misleading claims. FactCheck.org specifically documented Johnson making misleading claims concerning the 2025 Republican reconciliation bill, including its effects on SNAP and Medicaid. FactCheck concluded that the legislation would result in significant Medicaid coverage losses, despite Republican descriptions minimizing those effects. There were also several 2025 claims concerning what Democrats supposedly demanded during the government shutdown. Independent fact-checking found that Johnson's descriptions of money for women's economic programs, public broadcasting, and LGBTQ-related programs were misleading or substantially mischaracterized the underlying appropriations. One important distinction: I would not label every questionable statement by Johnson a lie. A fact-check can establish that a statement was false without establishing what was in his head when he said it. So a more defensible presentation would be documented false and misleading statements by House Speaker Mike Johnson, according to PolitiFact, FactCheck.org, and other independent fact-checkers. That's much harder for someone to dismiss as partisan name-calling.